Live from Siouxland's news source, this is KTIV News 4.
Dan, you made a difference during your short time on this earth. Well done, good and faithful servant.
What we're trying to show here is the brotherhood that we have, even with our police officers and law enforcement and the fire service and EMS. We're all part of the same family.
We will forever be grateful for the outpouring of your support, the love you had for my dad, and I'm glad he had an impact on your lives.
After 33 years as sheriff of Union County, South Dakota, Dan Limoges has taken off his badge for the final time. Today, South Dakota residents, law enforcement officials, and first responders from across the tri-state region gather to say a final goodbye. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Katie Copple. Tonight, we have full coverage from Elk Point, South Dakota, as that community gave a final salute to longtime Sheriff Dan Limoges, who has held that county seat for 33 years as sheriff. Sheriff Limoges died suddenly at his home earlier this week. He was just 64 years old. Hundreds of people from across Siouxland and beyond gathered this morning in Elk Point. You can see from the view from our Skylink 4 drone, dozens of police vehicles and fire trucks lining Main Street in Elk Point as Sheriff Limoges left the town he served for one final time. Sheriff Limoges' Celebration of Life service was held at Elk Point Jefferson High School this morning, with hundreds filling that gymnasium. KTIV's Connor Trett takes us into his funeral service and how the long-serving sheriff will be remembered for his generosity and dedication to the community.
Hundreds gathered in Elk Point on Sunday to bid farewell to Union County Sheriff Dan Limoges.
He was a rock of our family and carried the weight of the world on his shoulders. No matter what any person did, he never judged you or held a grudge. He would take the time to really listen, understand, and help in any way he could.
Union County Sheriff's Office with Dan Limoges go together. I mean, that was one and the same. So for everybody in the community and the whole county, without incorporating Dan Limoges' name as sheriff with Union County is hard for everybody.
Limoges served Union County for over 30 years, and his impact was not only felt in the community, but also at the department where he served.
We were a big part of his family here. You know, he had his family at home, but he cared so much about us and how the department was moving and what was going on here, and how even when he wasn't here on a Sunday or Saturday, he was still checking in on us.
And to close out the service, his department had one final farewell.
Man, we will attempt to follow your path with your assistance from above. You will forever be remembered by the thousands of lives you impacted, and you matter to us all. Now rest. 61 clear.
In Elk Point, South Dakota, Connor Trett, KTIV News 4.
Limoges was described by friends and family at his service as a man who didn't care much for the spotlight, but his service today showed just how deserving he was for his decades of work and dedication to Union County.
Yeah, the overwhelming support that everybody that is coming together today that meant to the family and for Sheriff Limoges. He would have hated it, but don't make a fuss over me, but he's doing it right. He deserves it.
And deserves it he did. As we continue our coverage tonight from Elk Point, that community giving thanks to their longtime sheriff one final time with a drive down Main Street. KTIV's Clayton Anderson was at the processional to see how the community honored Sheriff Limoges.
Taking a view from the sky from our Skylink 4 drone, you can see the long line of vehicles full of law enforcement squad cars that followed Union County Sheriff Dan Limoges from his celebration of life at Elk Point Jefferson High School through downtown Elk Point. Multiple law enforcement agencies, first responders, and the public lined Main Street in Elk Point, South Dakota to honor the man who served this county for over 30 years.
I think it's a good tribute to Dan, showing that all these departments would take their time out and show up to show last respects for Dan.
Multiple people I talked to said they were honored to have Limoges as their sheriff, and the community support following his celebration of life showcased just that. North Sioux City Fire Chief Bill Pappas says he worked with Limoges on several occasions and said he left a lasting legacy and was always great to work with.
I think whoever fills Dan's shoes is going to have some big shoes to fill. He's done a great job over the last 35 years.
Before the procession, North Sioux City Fire and Yankton Fire joined ladders to hang Old Glory high above Main Street. Just another way to honor the fallen sheriff. In Elk Point, South Dakota, Clayton Anderson, KTIV News 4.
As you've seen, hundreds of law enforcement officers attended the funeral this morning to pay respects in support of the family, as well as the Union County Sheriff's Office in this difficult time. Law enforcement officers say the bond they have is special. They support each other at all times, but especially when they lose one of their own. Today was the second time in the last 2 weeks that first responders have attended a funeral, with the death of Moody County Chief Deputy Ken Prorock earlier this month. Sully County Sheriff Bill Stahl says law enforcement show up for their fallen brothers and sisters no matter what.
It has to do with our profession and what we face on a daily basis. We lean on each other. You know, it's resourcing each other, helping each other out in difficult situations just like today. I mean, when I got the news, it hurt. Hurts right now, but because Dan is a heck of a guy. It gets me right here. It just shows what kind of brotherhood we have. We're all family. It's a big family.
We will have more tonight from law enforcement officials as they say a final goodbye to one of their own. Dan Limoges served as Union County Sheriff for 33 years. He was 64 years old.
Celebrating 70 years. Katie Copple, meteorologist Kat Taylor, and Sports Force with Irvin Doman. This is KTIV News 4 at 5.
For a Sunday after a couple days of snow, not a bad day. I think most of that's even gone.
Yeah, the snow is pretty much gone area-wide thanks to temperatures well above freezing today. And that's exactly where we topped out, well above freezing as well as well above normal here in Sioux City. 43 was our official high temperature today. Normal is 35, so we had a big jump from below average temperatures yesterday to well above average temperatures today. So a lot of good news there. But satellite and radar crystal clear, not a cloud in the sky at this time. What we're looking for clouds on satellite and radar, some little gray smudges, maybe starting to see a little thin cloud cover there in Holt County, but for the most part, this is very quiet for the central United States. Now, there is a storm off to our west. We're really not going to get a whole lot out of that. Actually, nothing out of that, but we're going to be watching more storms in your forecast as well. Blackbird Bend Casino camera in downtown Sioux City showing the blue sky. Currently, we're at 41 degrees. Winds are calm, which is a big difference from yesterday today. Still dropping barometer there, where we are going to see this falling pressure leading to some changes on the way. In this time, it's going to be actually good changes. But for the next 3 hours, we're going to stay clear, cooling down about freezing by 8 p.m. tonight. I'll have your forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Kat. One person has died, 2 others injured in a 2-vehicle crash in Yankton County, South Dakota. According to the South Dakota Department of Public Safety, a Ford van was driving the wrong way on South Dakota Highway 50 when it crashed head-on with a Chevy Tahoe. This crash happened near Gayville outside of Yankton. The driver of the van, a 45-year-old man, died as a result of the injuries in that crash. Authorities say he was not wearing his seatbelt. The driver of the Tahoe, a 29-year-old man, received life-threatening injuries and was flown to Sioux Falls. The passenger in the Tahoe, a 28-year-old female, received minor injuries. The names of those involved in the crash are not being released at this time. The crash remains under investigation tonight. A person in Nebraska has been arrested after making a fake 911 call about an active shooter last night. Lincoln police say a caller has been arrested after making a fake report of an active shooter at Gateway Mall. LPD says they received a report of an active shooter at Ross Dress for Less at 7:23 yesterday evening. According to LPD, officers responded to the area while receiving information that the caller was still in that area. Officers found the caller, determined there was never an active shooter. The caller was then arrested and the call considered a hoax. In Minnesota now, 2 police officers and a firefighter were killed responding to a violent domestic call. Authorities in Burnsville, near Minneapolis, say officers were responding to an incident with weapons. It's still unclear what happened next, but one SWAT vehicle at the scene had multiple bullet holes in its windshield. Investigators say the firefighter who died was providing aid to one of those officers. A number of other officers who were injured were taken to a trauma center. Federal authorities are now involved in that investigation. An anti-gun rally took place in Kansas City Saturday following Wednesday's mass shooting at the Chiefs championship parade. The rally was about much more than just the shooting at the Super Bowl parade. Speakers advocated for universal background checks and safe storage laws, among other gun reform measures. Mayor Quinton Lucas said that he had a meeting on Friday about whether the city would be able to have a big event like this ever again.
I don't want us 20 years from now to be saying, oh yeah, we don't have parades anymore because of X or Y thing. I don't want us to be looking over our shoulders. In the last year, we have had shootings at Oak Park Mall, Independence Center, Crown Center, outside Union Station. We can't keep living like this.
One person was killed. More than 20 others were injured in that shooting. 2 teens under the age of 18 have been charged, but police say they are still searching for others who may have been involved. Well, the last of the old I-74 bridge in Iowa, which once stood as a landmark of the Quad Cities, came down this morning. Controlled explosives were used to take down one final piece of the bridge between Bettendorf and Moline. The explosion was focused more on the base of the bridge. Completed in 1936, the old I-74 bridge was officially out of service as of December of 2021. Initial demolition began in June of last year with the removal of the west side arches and the completion of the bridge's frame in August of the same year.
If you like the weather today, there's a whole lot more where this came from. We have crystal clear blue skies area-wide. In fact, region-wide, very little cloud cover in Ida Grove, but it is a beautiful afternoon still. Lakeview camera, a couple fishermen out there enjoying this nice weather. Yesterday we had some ice on our waterways. That's not so much today. You can see maybe a little bit left over there in Iowa State Park, but we are going to continue to melt significantly as we head over the next 24 hours. Temperatures now still well above freezing. We're at 41 right now in Sioux City, 48 in Tacoma and Norfolk, a little bit cooler Sheldon at 36 degrees right now. But looking at this time yesterday to today, we still have a roughly about a 10-degree jump in temperature. So we're very warm compared to yesterday. The winds are also calm compared to yesterday. Now, we have kind of light and variable winds at this time all over the place, but as we head into tomorrow, wind gusts will pick up again, this time really helping our temperatures propel yet again up into the upper 40s. So we do have some wind gusts tomorrow, possibly 15 to about 25 miles an hour. This high pressure keeping us nice and sunny today. That's going to be kicking out. We've got the stationary front to the south. Right now, that all this just means is it's a front that's sitting still. On the north side of it, it's colder air. On the south side of it, it's warmer air. And once it starts to get a move on, it turns into a warm front, and that's going to bless us to start the work week. In fact, by Tuesday, we're going to have temperatures in the middle 50s. That warm front doing a lot of work Tuesday and Wednesday. Mid 50s looking just a little bit cooler than what we were initially thinking yesterday for Wednesday, but things are still going to be very warm for this time of year. Now, we have a weak cold front coming in Wednesday night into Thursday. That could bring in a very small chance for precipitation Wednesday. Into the afternoon, we have maybe a stray shower here or there. I would say the chances of actually seeing any rainfall only about 20%. This model being kind of a broad brush model, I think it makes it look a little bit more rain than it really will be. But there is a chance for maybe a stray shower on Wednesday, and that will bring in at least some cooler air behind that as well. So for tonight, we're going to be a little bit warmer with overnight lows in the 20s, passing cloud cover, southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Tomorrow, daytime highs in the upper 40s, a mix of sun and cloud cover, slight breeze, some wind gusts, maybe 15 to 25 miles an hour at times. But over the next 10 days, you'll see some really good news in terms of temperatures. Mid 50s for Tuesday and Wednesday, that weak cold front with isolated showers. Wednesday afternoon, just a smidge cooler with that cold front. Thursday and Friday back to the 40s, and then we're right back into the 50s, even 60s a week from tomorrow. And yes, your eyes do not deceive you. There are bona fide thunderstorm chances for us next Tuesday, so a week from Tuesday, and things are looking like a little bit more springtime is on the way for the end of February.
Yeah, I feel like this is very unusual for February. We should be expecting snow in in the 20s and 30s.
Yeah, typically February is when we get our snowfall, and this February is just...
We had it all in January after like 3 days.
5 days,
yeah, it's fine. We'll take the warm temperatures. All right, thanks, Kat. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce is helping the victims of the deadly Super Bowl victory parade shooting that happened earlier this week. A GoFundMe page benefiting the Reyes family showed two $50,000 donations from Kelce's 87 and Running Foundation. The family's two daughters both suffered gunshot wounds. The family set a goal of $100,000 to help with their medical bills. The Chiefs had also announced they were launching an emergency response fund in partnership with the United Way called Casey Strong. The team said it contributed $200,000 to that fund. Well, Irvin Doman stepping in now with sports, and it looks like you still have plenty more to recap from Wrestling State yesterday.
Yeah, that's right, Katie. Plenty of action yesterday at State, but we have a lot of action on the hardwood that we weren't able to get to with all that State coverage. So don't worry, we're going to get you caught up. We're going to start with Creighton and Butler battling on the hardwood. Highlights from that coming next, and we even had some baseball as Nebraska and Texas Tech hit the base paths yesterday. Highlights coming next. Welcome back. While state wrestling coverage overtook our coverage yesterday, that doesn't stop action from continuing while we're gone. So let's kind of recap that action. Creighton men's basketball is going to get us started. The Blue Jays battling the Butler Bulldogs. Baylor Shireman cashes that one from way downtown, and Creighton keeps rolling. But here comes Butler. This is going to be a little bank bucket for the Bulldogs right there to extend their lead to 3 points. Now again, it's Baylor Shireman cashing the three on the assist from Trey Alexander, and that gives Creighton a 5-point lead. And once again, guess who? That's right, Baylor Shireman driving in, floating up, and finishing at the rack, and Creighton goes on to win by a score of 79-57. Now time for Nebraska men's basketball as they tangle with Penn State. We have Bryce McGowan's in the house, the former Husker right there. Now they're rolling early. Rink Moss burying that three right there to extend the Husker lead. Now it's going to be Keisei Tominaga working with the ball, dishing inside to Josiah Alec. Alec finishes at the hole, and well, sister likes that one in the crowd just hanging out. And well, this felt like a Keisei Tominaga step back game, because let's be honest, that's about any Nebraska game you watch this year. Huskers pick it up in the second. This time it's Tominaga dishing up, and Nebraska goes on to win 68-49. Now another Big Ten battle, Iowa and Wisconsin going at it. Owen Freeman is going to make his presence felt early and often as he gets into the paint here and gets a bucket. And once again, it's going to be Freeman back on the attack and again finishing right at the hole to add a couple more points to Iowa's score. And now it's going to be this time Perkins driving and finishing over the Wisconsin defense. Perkins one more time over the defense, and Iowa wins an overtime thriller, 88-86. Now Iowa State battling Texas Tech in the Big 12, already with a double-digit lead with under 9 minutes to play. Milan Momcilovic gets to work, turnaround fadeaway jumper. That draws the foul to ISU with a 16-point lead. They keep it rolling in the second half. Taman Lipsey drives, baseline, kicks out to Keyshawn Gilbert, and Gilbert drills the corner three. He had 24 points when all was said and done. Later in the half, they get another corner three, this time by Curtis Jones. He was one of 5 Cyclones in the double digits as Iowa State wins 82-74. Now basketball, not the only sport that had some action yesterday, as Nebraska and Texas Tech took to the diamond. It's the 54th meeting of all time between the Red Raiders and the Huskers. Scoreless in the second, Will Walsh dealing with the slider right there for the strikeout. Walsh gets 4 Ks and allows 3 runs. Huskers in a hole down 3-2 in the 5th. 2 outs, Dylan Carey connects on that one, sends the runner home from third. But the Red Raiders would explode in the 9th. They go on to win 6-3.
You had a lot of stuff to cover this week, so I hope you have a few days off.
Yeah,
and
my voice needs to recover just a tad bit from everything.
For sure, but you can see all of our wrestling coverage, I believe, over on KTIV.com.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back.
7 minutes ago, we started our President's Day sale.
You're so corny. Save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable sets.
Get a free adjustable base with select Sealy Posturepedics. Sleep presidential during Mattress Firm's President's Day sale.
At Lilly Family Dentistry, you will receive cutting-edge dentistry, helping you achieve the happy, healthy smile you have always wanted and deserve. We offer the latest in technology, a wide range of dental services from cosmetic to general dentistry, including implants, Invisalign, whitening, and much, much more. We have bilingual team members and language line and audio and visual interpreting service. We are thrilled to have Dr. Joe Kale, a Siouxland native, join our dental team. He is looking forward to meeting new patients and starting his dental career back in his hometown area. Call today for an appointment or visit our website to learn more.
Instilled in me by my dad, and in him by his dad and his dad's dad, it's simple. Do the right thing, help your neighbor, work hard, and stay strong. Sold! These tenants have grown Brock Auction into one of the country's largest and fastest growing auction companies. Facilitating what it takes to help our neighbors buy and sell their own piece of the American dream, that's what it's been all about for over 100 years.
The best President's Day sale is at Hy-Vee. 6-pack Coke products, just $2.99. Lay's or Kettle Cooked chips, just $1.99. Basket of Bushel strawberries, just $1.99 for a 1-pound pack. Hy-Vee ice cream, just $1.98. 8-ounce Hy-Vee Choice Reserve sirloin fillets, just $3.99. And Sara Lee honey wheat bread, just $1.99. Don't miss the President's Day sale, Monday only at Hy-Vee.
Let us take care of you and your family at a Haywarden Regional Healthcare Clinic. We have a knowledgeable and caring staff of experts, ready to serve you at all 3 of our clinic locations. Visit a Haywarden Regional Healthcare Clinic for acute care, annual wellness visits, immunizations, chronic condition management, and more. Call your local Haywarden Regional Healthcare Clinic today to schedule an appointment. Haywarden Regional Healthcare, going further so you don't have to.
7 minutes ago, we started our President's Day sale.
You're so corny. Twins starting at $99, queen hybrids at $3.99.
Serta Perfect Sleeper Queens, just $4.99. Sleep presidential during Mattress Firm's President's Day sale.
Sponsored by AgriVision.
Coming up tonight on KTIV News 4 at 10, as Union County says goodbye to longtime Sheriff Dan Limoges, we have more coverage from his celebration of life this morning and the regional law enforcement presence that made their way to Elk Point, South Dakota. To see coverage from this week and today, you can visit KTIV.com right now. Well, not much to complain about weather-wise, Kat. I mean, we have 60s in the forecast.
Yeah, technically there's 60s in the forecast.
Insane.
And thunderstorms, believe it or not, tonight.
Are we sure it's February?
Yeah, it's going to be the end of February, though. We got a little while before it gets here. Tonight, it's going to be cold but warmer than last night at 22 degrees and partly cloudy. Tomorrow, daytime highs in the mid to upper 40s, so going to be a little bit warmer than this afternoon. It's partly cloudy skies, a little bit of a slight breeze. Some wind gusts could possibly get up to about 25 miles an hour, but over the next 10 days, there's a whole lot of good news in this forecast. Even with a cold front coming through on Wednesday, we have a small chance for maybe a stray isolated shower or two on Wednesday, but we're going to go from 55 to 49. That's not a whole lot of a temperature drop with, I think cool front might be a better word.
Do we have to call it a cold front? Because I think 49 is still above average.
Exactly.
For this time of year.
And then 58 by a week from today, 62 a week from tomorrow, and there is the potential for thunderstorms a week from Tuesday, and winter weather on the backside of that, maybe the last day of February. But as it stands right now, at least between now and the last 2 days of February, things are looking pretty spring-like.
Not a whole lot to complain about. Irvin, who do you have tonight for Coach's Corner?
We have Cody Wentz from Battle Creek Braves Wrestling. They won the Class C state title last night. Again, you can find that coverage on KTIV.com, but we'll hear more from him and kind of about the Braves season coming up tonight at 10.
All right, we'll see you then.